jumping into it mid-game right here.
Let's see, Guadalcanal, yeah. Guadalcanal is almost taken over.
Is Syria at war with America?
No, not yet.
Okay.
The borders in Indochina are so cursed. Like, somehow Cambodia has cores in the southern half of Vietnam, which makes absolutely no sense to me.
So
because that's actually Free France. Like the lighter blue is actually Free French territory. And I have no idea how they got in there.
What the heck? It literally just popped up after one of the white pieces. It's like clear.
Did you get an event about them joining the co-prosperity sphere, or did it just like suddenly happen? Or did
No,
the
I chose that just to see if it would kick these dudes out or whatever. It didn't work. We're still in here.
Can you call the same to war?
They don't want to, or suppose they won't accept because they have negative opinion of it. I don't know.
That's why. Like, if they were at war with the Allies, then we could just wipe those guys out instantly.
I'm sorry, my housemate is just being loud. Okay. I'm taking the Second World War is really just taken off.
It's almost time for Barbarossa. Like 3 months.
I wish they were all going in like one direction instead of actually going down, pushing around.
Shut.
Jesus. Thank God though.
What happened? What
I
happened?
finally like called Zaim and
Oh, good. Good. I was laughing because I was just looking at the news, and there's another hilarious piece of news I missed. Trump was bragging that he's going to invade Karg Island. Again, he was bragging about that again. Even though it's logistically... Karg Island is like right here. It doesn't show up in the in-game map, but I tagged the location where it is. So you see the United States doesn't control the Straits of Hormuz, which is here. And Karg Island is over here, and he thinks that it can be invaded easily, even though it's so close to the mainland of Iran, it can be shelled by our...
He has to like go through the gauntlet.
Yeah, and of course it will just... If any attempt to land troops there, that will just be shot to hell by drones.
And it will be deeply unpopular back here at home.
Well, that hasn't stopped him before, ever. Everything he does is deeply unpopular. He's literally the most unpopular president in the history of this country.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how far back, like, you know, approval ratings for presidents have gone, like...
Not that far. Do you know who is one of the most hated presidents in history? Like when he was president? Top 3 for sure. In the top 3 most hated presidents. The answer might surprise you.
Abraham Lincoln?
Nope, George Washington.
Damn. How?
He was widely hated.
He's such a nice guy.
Well, the Democratic Republicans, Jefferson's people, absolutely hated him because he adopted very undemocratic policies because he was a Federalist, and Federalists were not fond of democracy. They were not fond of representative democracy. But at the same time, Washington had become opposed to Alexander Hamilton's faction within the Federalist Party, which he saw as being extremely hardline. Because Alexander Hamilton wanted to join the Napoleonic Wars on Britain's side. He wanted to get involved in a land war against France and Spain
Damn.
in North America. And so, and
Is it
Washington,
on your server here still?
where? Oh, yes, for now. Because I only have one fleet I can really use right now, and I'm having it patrol out here. And I need naval dominance here. But when I take New Hebrides, then I will not need your fleet anymore for now. Well, for now I need it, but after I take this last state in the Solomon Sea, move on. Oh. Losing convoys. It's so stupid. The game won't let me trade with the Soviet Union through Vladivostok. It did not used to be that way. It did not used to be that way. There's a clear connection available to them.
Oh, hey, Glassy. There's somebody I know who is watching. Good to see you.
I think I'll buy from the United States for now. Okay, now I can get the field engineering stuff back then. That attrition is just brutal.
Kind of sad there's a tank there, but.
Production logistics.
Like, I know as Japan, you don't have to worry about, or you shouldn't. Wait, I thought I saw your convoys way over in, like, over here, like outside Arkansas. Because in the past, because you have a land connection with the Soviet Union through Korea, you didn't even need convoys to trade with the Soviet Union.
Should I sign a non-aggression pact with Iraq?
Might as well, they're in the Axis.
Sweet, sweet. It's good to see you, Glassy. So once I get to 150 political power, I can go ahead and start doing more stuff.
I had never even heard of the guy who's leading your country. In fact, we couldn't figure out why he's even in charge of the country. Sun Dan-ning. It's supposed to be Wang Jingwei, but for some reason he's not in charge. We really don't know why.
It's possible that it's like a automatically generate, like there's an algorithm that generates a Chinese.
That's not a random guy. That's not a random guy.
So he was.
That's a historical guy. You can look him up on Wikipedia.
Dude, but he
That's
then gets plopped into the leadership chair of all of China.
Well, because there's certain situations where Wang Jingwei cannot be the leader of reorganized nationalist China. For example, it's possible for Wang Jingwei to lead the real nationalist China and fight against the Japanese. So if he's doing that, then he can't lead the reorganized national government.
Looks like it was all around this last little bit of push for American selfie convoys. So like
Oh yeah. I can't wait until we take that over. I've got claims on it. That's so many resources.
Even though my
We've
boys
got
are
a faction goal for that. I'm manufacturing so much steel. Right now, it's funny. Almost no one is buying it. It's all going to waste.
Billy.
Yeah, one. You're the only one. So.
准备完毕，长官。
So the moral of the story, at least, is going in fascist Australia that the steel, the theoretically infinite steel production, as cool as it sounds on paper, in practice is not useful because it costs me too much political power to change my trade law so I can use the steel and no one else will buy it. So it just goes to waste. Got 25 more days. I might keep my Marine in Samoa so that when we go to war with the United States, they can just hop over to American Samoa and take that immediately.
I'll be right back.
Both Italy and Germany want air. What's this? That was so weird that Siam declared war on the US. I mean, I think maybe you took over French Indochina slightly early, and they're supposed to go to war with the Vichy French over it, and that might be it. I like that. Siam gets a focus called War Fervor, which gives you weekly war support plus 0.5% just forever. And it says war support will increase permanently until we declare war on any other country, upon which the spirit will be removed. But get this, it says should war support remain above 90% without a war declaration for too long, a civil war will start. whole thing with the SpaceX IPOs is just fucking insane. It's also clearly fraud. I'm not sure if you heard about that, man. But the best, basically, Elon Musk is taking his company SpaceX public. Virtually all of Elon Musk's company are fraudulent. Like, they don't really sell anything. In absolute terms, like what they sell, the money that they make is very small. Yet the valuation of these companies are insanely high. There's seemingly no reason at all, but there is a reason. As counterintuitive as this sounds in the world of stock market valuations, like let's imagine this. Like, I say I'm gonna let you borrow $20, and then so you borrow $20 from me, and then you're considered more valuable because of that. And then you say that you're going to lend me $20, and the $20 that I just gave you, you give back to me, and then I become seen as more valuable. And then I just say I'm going to let you borrow another $20, and then I hand you the $20 that you just gave me, and then you're considered even more valuable than you were before. That's basically what's going on with the stock market right now.
It's literally like, isn't there an episode of like, I think it's Beavis and Butthead, where they like, oh, here's a bunch of like Girl Scout chocolate. Well, if I give you $20 for yours, I'll give you a bar. Not that you take the same $20 bill and give it to you and take some of your chocolate, and they just pass a $20 bill between them to like eat it all. It's not exactly the same because they're just like, it just sounds
well,
like.
For example, like one of the ways that Nvidia, well, they all basically do fake investments in each other. Like Nvidia has set up shell corporations, like they're separate corporations on paper, but it's really still just Nvidia, and they're buying video cards from themselves, but nothing is really sold because no money is lost or gained. But by setting up a fake company, a shell company, and then buying video cards from themselves, it drives their stock valuation up, even though no money has been lost or gained. But the stock market suddenly says the stock is more valuable. It's like, that's how almost everything works today. It's almost all just complete.
It's just like resistance. Oh. I gotta be training for garrisons.
Yeah, you need to train more troops through China. We're gonna have a land war with the Soviet Union. You need a lot of troops.
I'm trying, but I need troops for garrisons. And it's not automatically training, it's not automatically training cavalry for garrisons.
When garrisons, are you talking about the occupied territory template, or are you talking about just the divisions you want guarding your land on the map?
Yeah, just divisions guarding the occupied territory.
Yeah, you want that to be cavalry, though. That's what cavalry is for.
Yeah, but
because it has a higher suppression value.
Yeah, but I don't have any template for cavalry divisions.
You don't?
Yeah.
So you have to create one?
Yep.
You're taking a focus that will give you one building slot in every state you own. So that's 53 more building slots.
I need the army experience to be able to even do that.
Do you have a chief of army that generates you experience?
Chief of army? I do not. But I
hire one.
Chief of army. Division defense or offense? I'm gonna count on attack. There we go. Still, the whole stock market situation just sounds like.
Well, what they're doing is like SpaceX is going public, so all these investment firms like BlackRock, State Street and Vanguard are investing crap tons of money into it. And here's how this works. If you have a 401k, like your 401k money is managed by those firms. And so they're using people's retirement accounts to just buy all this stock that they know is grossly overvalued. And that way the rich people who know what's really going on can sell their stock while it's still valued super high. And then when the valuation crashes because it's completely fake and fraudulent, it will be everyone's retirement account that suddenly becomes worthless. So that's basically the plan, is to rob everyone's retirement account so that the wealthy capitalists can just walk away with all the money and all the assets.
It's fucking
That's
vile.
basically the plan. That's why I don't think this country is going to last. Like, this country right now is just based around a very small group of extremely wealthy people. Just to use a metaphor, they're basically stripping the copper wiring out of the walls. Like, they're just burning everything to the ground. They're robbing and stealing everything they can, because they're acting like tomorrow there isn't going to be a tomorrow. So, and this just can't last. Like, a society cannot function like this in the long term.
It's just like, what's convinced them there's not going to be a tomorrow? Like, is it just like, man, it's just so fucking...
Well, it's because capitalism is based on this idea that you can just have infinite economic growth. For corporations to function, it's not enough that they make a good amount of money. They have to constantly be making money at a higher and higher rate. Like, it's not enough for them to make more money in absolute terms. It's like in exponential terms, it has to keep growing exponentially, but that's literally impossible. The universe is finite. Like, the Earth is finite. Like, you cannot expand infinitely. And they're running into the barriers to infinite growth, and things are starting to fall apart, so they're trying to keep things going by just robbing like the bottom 95% of the population to make good the fact that they can't actually grow anymore without just stealing everything. But then eventually they'll just run out of things to steal, and plus, you know, people will eventually end up starving and homeless, and you can't steal anything more from people when you've already stolen everything. So eventually the party's gonna have to stop. It's not looking pretty. There's not really been anything like it in human history, as far as I know. The closest thing would be the collapse of the Soviet Union. How after the Soviet Union collapsed, people just tried to steal everything they could, like just rob everything. So like after the Soviet government ceased to exist, you know, during the Soviet period, everything was owned by the government. Well, when the Soviet government no longer exists, random people who had connections to powerful people were just like, okay, I'm going to buy up the stuff that used to be owned by the government, but because I know the politicians, they're basically going to give it away for free. And so that way, a very small number of people became extremely wealthy by essentially stealing all of the property of the Soviet government on a mass scale. That's where the Russian oligarchy comes from.
Damn, that's bleak.
This is what I was worried about of attacking Malaya over land. Look at it. It's all controlled by Siam, even though I'm the one that has the claims on it. And they won't give it to me. Damn those bastards. So I think our next goal should be to control Manila. I can become the spy master, I just need to get some more upgrades. As I remember, you said you wanted me to be the... So yeah, like in retrospect, the best way to have taken over British Malaya would have been to like sit on their border without attacking, and then launch the naval invasion from one of the bases, and then Siam wouldn't have gotten occupation of it. As annoying as that sounds. Because now the Siamese AI controls it and everything is just going to go to waste. But I'll fix that, like, when we're done with this session. I'll just use the console and fix that. We should honestly just play with a mod for that. Like, the AI should not get to dictate, like, which state it occupies, because it's too stupid. Like, when you're playing as the Allies and invading Germany, like, a lot of it ends up occupied by the Dutch, even though the Dutch don't have the actual manpower to maintain a military occupation. Like, they just can't. But they will refuse to hand the territory over to you. It's very stupid. One of the things I find the most amusing about what's going on is just how much evangelical Christians love Trump. Even though he's a rapist, a thief, quite possibly a murderer.
Yeah.
He's like literally the most immoral person that you could possibly imagine. They love him.
Mm-hmm. And there's the whole thing where they compare him to King David and everything. It's like, damn, I think he's worse than King David.
He's definitely something else. He seems to be like one of the stupidest leaders of a major country in modern history. I can't think of anyone that would be more stupid and ignorant than him. Like he's so stupid that he makes Hitler seem like a genius.
Yeah, I can see that. Like,
because if you read Mein Kampf, it's obvious that Hitler has at least moderate knowledge of German history, whereas Trump knows literally not even the most basic facts of German history. To be fair, most Americans don't either, but the thing is that people from incredibly wealthy backgrounds, like the Trump, they have no excuse for being ignorant. Like, they were born to wealth, they could afford the best schools and the best upbringing. They have no excuse for being illiterate and ignorant.
mm-hmm.
It's another symptom, I think, that the capitalist system is starting to fall apart. So historically, every social system, like before it falls apart, the people running it, the decline of the social system is reflected in the ruling class that's in charge of it. It's like 100 years ago, if you looked at your typical like elite politician, they were highly educated, pretty smart people. Like, look at Winston Churchill, for example, extremely articulate, extremely well-read, very knowledgeable, very good speaker. Whereas none of our politicians today like know anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, none of them can actually speak lucidly on history or even current events at all. Obama was a good public speaker, but the thing to keep in mind is that while he was good at speaking, he never wrote anything he said. Like, everything he said was written for him by someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Just the caliber of our statesmen today is incredibly low, which isn't surprising when most American politicians are like 85-year-old geriatrics who have dementia, probably should have retired like 20 years ago. The Soviet Union was kind of like that just before it died too. Like, except the average politician in the Soviet Union was more like 70, whereas here they're closer to like 80.
Mm-hmm.
So it's even worse here. Like in the mid 1980s, they called it the gerontocracy. The people running the Soviet Union were all incredibly old, but they're still, by our standards today, they're much younger than the politicians that run America. Have you ever heard of Yuri Andropov? He was briefly the leader of the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Such a sickly old man that he barely lasted. He only lasted like 6 months or something before he died of natural causes.
I understand that, like, he was really cryptic and, like, silent, and just, like, nobody had any idea what he was going to do. But
Well,
he
he
didn't.
had reforming tendencies. In fact, he was kind of the mentor of Gorbachev. Gorbachev is a very interesting figure. There's a biography written by William Taubman about Gorbachev, and I highly recommend that. But it's kind of, it presents the, it's not that what's in the book is wrong, it only presents a partial picture. So Taubman's portrayal of Gorbachev focuses more on the positive elements. And there's another book that you should read it in tandem with, which is Collapse by Ladislav Zubok, which portrays the other side of the story. It's very negative and one-sided against Gorbachev. Like, you should read both things because neither are wrong. They just have different emphases and just focus on one thing. Like, Collapse looks at all the bad things that Gorbachev did, whereas Taubman's biography focuses on the good things he did. And so the best way to get a picture of it is to read both things, and then you get the full perspective. Like, Gorbachev was mostly well-meaning, but a lot of the way he went about things was extremely dumb. Like, for example, there's a stereotype, and it was absolutely true, but alcoholism was a huge problem in the Soviet Union. I forget what percentage of people were alcoholics, but it was very high.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that's not good. That's very bad. It's very bad for people's health. So Gorbachev wanted to dramatically curtail the government's production of liquor. Like, he wanted to like cut liquor production down by like 2/3 or 75% as a way of combating alcoholism. That sounds like a good idea superficially, but here's the thing: 33% of the Soviet Union's government revenue, like 33% of all the money the Soviet Union made, came from their sale of alcohol.
Oh.
So when he says, okay, we're going to cut alcohol production by 2/3, well, guess what happens to all that money? It's gone. And it created a huge financial crisis, and that by itself contributed in a huge way to the collapse of the Soviet Union. That's kind of what's meant by like Gorbachev's incompetence, but also he like blindly trusted that the United States was benign. Like, he believed whatever the United States told him, even though the United States lied constantly. Like, for instance, Gorbachev agreed to withdraw from Eastern Europe and from East Germany because Bush Sr. promised him, okay, if you leave Germany, NATO. What's that?
I just sent you a thing. Giving people cyan.
Oh, hell yeah. How'd you get that?
I just slowly asked them for it, so I bet, and they gave it to me. There's still two that they haven't given me yet.
Oh, that gave me another dockyard, too. Nice, nice, nice. So, Singapore.
Last two, I can try it one by one. Well, I gotta go check.
You did, yeah.
Mm.
See, I knew a guy from Kuala Lumpur.
Deep in our
He's really
collaboration.
cool. And I finally have some aluminum from that too. Yeah, the rest of it I don't really need. Although it'd be nice if I had it, I don't really need it. It's like one state I'm missing, just that one there.
Two.
Really? Where's the other one?
Right next to Penang is like the port something.
Oh, yeah. That's weird, yeah. That's its own state now? That's so weird.
It went right to you?
No. No, I don't have it since you have it.
Oh, okay. Then I'll see if I can give you the last one tomorrow. You gotta wait a day.
Yeah, I wonder why Penang is its own state like that. The developers usually try to avoid like very small single province states like that.
United Mexican States. Something happened.
We'll have to kill those guys.
All the way in Mexico.
Yeah, it's funny because I've seen one thing that annoys me is when certain people are angry when Americans are referred to by Americans, and then I've seen certain people refer to Americans as quote unquote USians. But that's even more stupid because the United States of America is the only country on earth that actually has America in its name. But it is not the only country called the United States. There are several countries called the United States.
Yeah.
The United States and Mexico being one example. So. And Brazil used to be called the United States of Brazil, and I think there's at least one other country that's also called the United States, but I can't remember what it was. I think I'll put that one on secret. Maybe Penang was a fortress or something. Yeah, apparently it was the site of a British fortress. I still don't quite understand why they made it its own state.
Dutch East Indies.
There won't be a Dutch East Indies much longer.
Man, I don't want to risk a naval invasion because I'm incompetent on that front.
We need more naval dominance in the Solomons. Thankfully, I have 2 destroyers. We'll see if that's enough. Port Villa, that's the one I'm gonna I'm just waiting for the. Okay, it needs 5 more days. It looks like. We're slowly grinding them down. We still need Ceylon. Or Sri Lanka. That one you should definitely control. And they've got 94 rubber. And Achoic tiles. I wish I could like kick out one of those allied spies and like take it over myself.
Is there any place that you want me to move my armies at all? I don't really have much.
Well, you could plan some naval invasions. We can provide the fleets, like if you can, like, plan naval invasions of some of these islands out here. Like, move your troops to like these islands and plan a naval invasion.
How in the
Because
blazes?
we can provide the ships to give naval dominance.
I can't even move them physically there.
Why not?
We are currently at war and our transport risk being... Oh, cannot transport from a non-naval base. Oh, well I gotta move them to a port then.
Well, move to a naval base.
Yep.
It's a lie when it says that they're gonna get sank. They're not gonna get sank because we have control of the seas here. Sometimes the game kind of lies about that. We do now, yeah. I'm just waiting 3 more days for this thing to be done. Like, it takes so long to do naval invasions now. It's painful how long Remember, like back when we first started playing, it took like way less time. Way less
The other
time.
day we were both all packed up and shit, and they were taking like 15 days.
Yep. And I think I had a
That was
general
fucking
with the
guys doing that,
invader
right?
trait. Yeah, but I had a general with the invader trait, which speeds up the preparation time by like 30%. And also, it had to do with like I had my marine doctrine maxed out because remember until today you could just like if you had several hundred naval XP you could just buy out the entire marine doctrine instantly, and like at the bottom of the marine doctrine it increased the prep time. And now I have to get it through mastery. It's almost time for another Pilbara. At this point, I'm just doing it for the fun of it, even because no one's buying my steel. Oh yeah, you should enable. There's
Oh,
guys
yeah.
on that one. You should
Yeah,
put
it
some
was like
submarine.
50 days for one island.
Put some submarines on that, or like, and the water out there. Just like start convoy raiding that because they have to be.
My entire fleet dedicated to getting me dominant to go off these naval invasions.
Then that's more important. Yeah, destroyers will do. Can I train any more marines yet? Nope, not yet. Okay, it's time to expand Pilbara again. I already have 119 steel out of it. It's insane.
No, they're refusing out that last little chunk they want it.
We'd have to give them land somewhere else. Like once we get into Africa, we can just start giving them like worthless land in Africa, and then they'll give it up.
Is Portugal going to turn against me suddenly?
No, I think you have a focus to like basically steal East Timor from them. Huh? No, the Dutch stole it. Like that actually belonged to Portugal. East Timor belonged to Portugal. It belonged to Portugal until like 1970 or something like that. The fall of fascist Portugal is really just kind of a bizarre thing. There's not many histories in English about it. I need to get some. So here was the weirdest thing about the collapse of fascist Portugal is during this time frame, Portugal was a fascist state. Even though in game it's represented as non-aligned, it was basically fascist. That guy, Antonio de Oliveira Salazar, he was the dictator until he died in like 1970. And the fascist regime died not long after that. But here's the bizarre thing. The junior officer corps of the Portuguese army had become communist. Like the junior officers were communists. And they're just like, well, we hate fascism, so we're just going to overthrow the government. And they did. And Portugal very nearly became a communist state. Alright, naval invasion is a go.
Just takes an eternity to move troops across China.
That's why you gotta use strategic redeployment.
I've been clicking that, and Still takes a while.
We're on speed 1. That's how Matt and I usually play, so that we can micromanage everything. It's a lot more fun that way during Big War. So though right now we're kind of in the slower phase of it. There's not much ground combat going on. There's no ground combat going on right now. Well, other than these naval invasions that we're periodically doing.
Yes.
We've been playing a lot of Kaiserreich lately, and those games get extremely action-packed. What do you think the best Kaiserreich campaign we did? Was it that first one? I think the first one was pretty amazing.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
They were all pretty fun, honestly.
they were, yes.
I like my Canada one. That wasn't the first one we did, right?
No, that was the second.
Yeah.
It was Germany was the first one, then Canada, and then the one we just finished the other day.
That was wild. Hella mini games to play.
Gary.
And the Canada one was satisfying in a different way.
It was, yeah. The Entente is very hard to play. Like, if a player isn't on Canada, it's very hard because it's like the key to winning is to ensure that you win the American Civil War. I think it would be more fun if you could just keep control of Canada after you retake the UK. Like, if you just become, you know, like a combined Canada-Britain. That would have been even cooler.
So garrisons will automatically train. You don't have to train them independently.
Correct. They're not actual divisions on the map or anything.
Sweet.
No, they have no experience. And cavalry is the ideal division type to use, and you want to be sure that the template you're using has no support companies other than military police. Because like if you give your garrison templates like artillery, it's literally just a complete waste.
I'm doing Lend-Lease with Imperial Japan and the Kingdom of Afghanistan.
You might want to cancel that to Afghanistan.
How do I cancel it?
Go to the diplomacy tab and then do modify Lend-Lease, I believe. Should be a button in the diplomacy tab that says that.
I think I got those guys trying to flee that island with my destroyers. I thought they could get away.
Oh yeah, the ones in that little island there in that one?
Yeah.
Good. We want to wipe them all out. There's some French divisions over here. I'm about to wipe them out. We need to clean up these little islands before the United States gets involved. We don't have much time though, which sucks because it's like these naval invasions take forever to be ready.
Do you still need the Lend-Lease from me?
What was it, a Lend-Lease of?
It's tanks to Imperial Japan.
I had it.
Or early trucks. Yeah.
You can't clear. They all just send me stuff because I was the overlord.
Let's see if I can become the spy master now. Yes, I can. Oh, I can take 2 spy slots. Like one of my advisors who I never would have considered a spy qualifies. So I can take like a second spot.
Not that way. Okay, I gotta go ahead and tell my armies to
是的，长官。
cut out. What happened that? Or that? There we go.
出发！
destroyers.
出发！
Where? Ping.
出发！
Oh, wow.
I
Yeah.
just visited.
It's gonna get scary when the United States gets involved. Like suddenly there will be like 100 ships.
Now you guys going to be planning Pearl Harbor in order to get America involved? Are they going to just like...
There is a Pearl Harbor raid, but I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with how it works.
If I add my nuclear facility, are you ready to put it on?
Yes. Yes, do it. I think I have the political power, yes. Yep, that worked. It might actually be worth doing that because Japan has a helicopter MIO. And if you did actually produce helicopters, I would probably research them myself, just so I can unlock the support companies, but I would actually probably want to produce helicopters on license from you because they would get the MIO bonus. I think they would get the MIO bonus, pretty sure. So they would basically be superior to any helicopters that I could ever possibly produce myself. Because only a small handful of countries get helicopter MIOs.
Okay, where do you want me to invade?
One second. You'll probably want to move your guys to like the islands here, and then plan invasions of like these islands.
Oh, they're moving. Okay.
I'm planning naval invasions of here and here. He's Ivan McKay is 37% of the way towards getting the invader trait. That'll be so nice when he actually has it. Maybe Australia can only have one special forces branch. Oh, I should take resist Western intruders. Because that reduces invasion preparation time by 20%, among other things. Ah, I should have done that a while ago.
Put on a house coat.
I think you start off with the division that has like an infantry division that has like 1 or 2 heavy tank battalions in it. So it's probably just some random country then. God knows. God knows. Oh, for the next faction goal? Oh, let me see. Develop Malayan riches. Develop Chinese metal. Probably the Malayan riches. I can do that at some point. Because I'm the one that controls Malaya. Or most of it.
There are enemy invasions targeting the Caroline Islands.
Yeah, we're not worried. We've got naval superiority. They can't launch an invasion while we have superiority. But yeah, our currently planned sets of invasions will probably be the last ones we can do in this part of the ocean for a while, because we'll be at war with the United States before too long. But we really should get into like Java and Sumatra and like finish off the Dutch East Indies.
Mm-hmm.
I think I will take the operation slot. Oh, I need to take a focus. Coast Watchers.
Billy!
How would you react if Trump just sent like mass ICE battalions to occupy polling stations and just rig the election in the fall? How would you react?
I would be not surprised, but it's still just like, oh dear, that's what I fear.
Maybe that would finally get people to start killing each other.
Maybe. He's moving in that direction. He keeps escalating and escalating and escalating. Like he is de facto outlawing mail-in ballots by saying that the federal post office system will not provide mail-in ballots to any state that uses mail-in ballots.
Yeah, but people can still show up to the polls. Like, he has to manipulate the polls it's
Well, here's the
themselves.
thing, like it's not even that hard because the company that owns the voting machines was bought out by MAGA fascists earlier last year. So the voting machines are run by fascists tied to Trump. Like the Dominion voting machines, they're owned by fascists now.
So they could just go ahead and electronically make the result that they desire, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They wouldn't even need to send soldiers to occupy the polling stations. They can, because the fascists themselves literally own and control the voting machines now.
So if anything, it would
So
just
they,
be the kind of thing that he would win, and everybody would just be like stunned, and that's it.
yep, kind of like pretty much any third world dictatorship. This country is like a banana republic now. This is how things work in like Latin America or in sub-Saharan Africa.
Well, we have to get to that point first. We're still like 2 years away from a federal election, and then 2026 is like. Like, I wonder
Well,
what he.
it's still a congressional election this fall.
Yeah, like I don't know if he's gonna do with that one. If he's gonna try to manipulate it,
Yeah, I
or
think he's just waiting to hold it off as long as possible, and then like a few weeks before the election, he's gonna have ICE paramilitaries just go and occupy the polling stations in Democratic states. Probably what's gonna happen.
but he doesn't need to do that if it's electronic, right?
Right, he doesn't need to do it, but he may do it anyway just to send a message that he's the dictator and that he controls everything.
That'd be a very stupid move on his part. Just
He's an extremely stupid person. And so far, he's been able to get away with literally everything, and it just makes him drunk with power. Like, he
damn.
likes just doing brazen stuff. Like, you saw a few days ago, he's like, I love inflation. I think it's great that we have high inflation. He said that.
It's so dumb.
He's used to getting away with literally anything now. So now it's like a power thing. He like says really stupid stuff on purpose just because he knows he can get away with it, and that there will be no consequences. But here's like the insidious thing about that kind of thinking, Matt. He thinks he can get away with everything, and so far he has. But eventually there may become a day when people just decide that they've had enough. It's like he gets away with everything until suddenly he doesn't, and then it's too late, and he's fucked. But he's so sickly and feeble. He seems like he could just drop dead any day.
Yeah, he may very well pass away. Like a few months ago, there was like a claim that, oh, he only has a few months to live from a doctor. So, now again, that's might be like, I think there's like this. It's not hysteria, but it's like this, like, oh, World War III is going to happen, in X amount of time, or this big event is going to happen soon. And it's a sensationalist report, and it's just like, well, we don't, but I'm not a doctor either, so. But if it's the kind of thing that's like, what he should have keeled over by now. So yeah.
Yeah, he probably should have. I mean, his health is terrible. He's obviously has severe dementia. He's just falling asleep constantly, like multiple times a week during public presidential functions. He just passes out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've seen that. It happens like practically every day now.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny because when Biden like had one moment where he seemed to suffer from dementia and like was just babbling nonsensically, it became like a national scandal that was talked about endlessly for weeks, and it destroyed his political campaign. But like Trump is 10 times as bad, and he does it literally every day.
Yep.
And there's just no consequences.
Man, the United States is just right there on Wake Island. Yep.
Yep. It's gonna be important to like snap up those islands. Like when the war starts, got to take Wake. We got to get Johnston Atoll. Got to get Midway and get Hawaii. Just kick them off all these Pacific islands, and then they just can't get to us.
Damn. If you do attack Pearl Harbor, be sure to get those carriers. But yeah, like it's just like apparently he's been taking like a huge amount of aspirin, which apparently is a diagnosis for just like, well, he has the symptoms of it. It's just like a diagnosis for like constant, like, what is it? He's just like on the brink of death on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
So
He's on the brink of death constantly.
so it's just the kind of thing that's like it could be that, you know. But I also have the weird feeling that like he could survive for another decade.
Yeah, he's so evil.
He's
It's
like a
he's so evil. He's not going to die until he's completely destroyed everything.
he's like that one emperor from like 40K or whatever who's like just a skull and is just kept alive. Just yeah.
Yeah, I also think that's one of the he's making a Fuhrer bunker underneath the White House, stealing tons of taxpayer money to do it. He's like, oh, it'll be privately funded, and it'll cost $100 million. And he's like, oh, it actually costs $1 billion.
The whole ballroom is a ruse. It's amazing to me
Well,
that
it's a
like
Fuhrer bunker. It's a Fuhrer bunker. It's like it's a doomsday bunker. And so one of the worries is that he may die, and then they'll conceal it, and then they'll just say that he's gone into the bunker, and then they'll just rule the country saying that he's alive when he's dead. It seems like almost anything is possible. It seems like that. I'm not even saying that's likely. I don't think it's likely per se.
it seems like something out of
definitely not unthinkable.
it's like something
I could definitely see it happening.
it's like something out of a novel. Like I fail to believe that could happen in like reality. That's like insane. Just like
Well, the funny thing is, before the attempted coup in January of 2021, in December of 2019, a DLC came out for this game that added new content for the United States. And if America went fascist, there was like a coup attempt in Washington D.C. that was exactly like the one that Trump tried to do. But here's the
damn.
thing: it was written and put in the game before, over a year before that happened in real life.
Damn. That's quite the clairvoyance. There's just like you see like on Halloween there's this YouTube channel called Dark 5 that I watch in like Halloween just to give me a nice fright. And it's just like there's stuff like that where it's just like, you know, novels that predicted the nuke, predicted the atomic bomb or, the Second World War. And it's just like eerie kind of stuff. It's just like
A novel, a dystopian novel I read recently, and it's not a great writer, but it's by Jack London. You may have heard of him, but it's called The Iron Heel, and it's like the first dystopian novel, and he basically predicts fascism and how it'll come about. But it's about how fascism arises in the United States, and a lot of what and he wrote this like in 1910 or something, or 1906. He ended up being right about most of it.
damn.
Like, for instance, he said that the way that fascism would arise in the United States is that it would be spearheaded by the Republican Party, and in the beginning, the Democratic Party would resist it, but eventually they would just join together with the Republican fascists and just rule the country as, on paper, a two-party state, but in reality, it's just the one fascist party. And, it's pretty much exactly what the country is right now.
Damn. And I think I saw that like it was Chuck Schumer or like one of the leaders of the Democratic Party, like he just straight up capitulated in like
Yeah, like he's capitulated on just about every single thing. There was one time where he didn't capitulate, and it was like earlier this year in the spring. It had to do with ICE funding, but then it didn't matter because like a month or two after that, the Democrats just agreed to fund ICE anyway, even though ICE is just summarily executing American citizens just for criticizing them in public.
yeah, like they've shot two
It's like
people.
that's what this country is. It's like if you go out and criticize the government, they'll just send out fascist stormtroopers and shoot you in the head.
Yeah, that was But it was repulsive. Just what's up? I remember seeing that.
I want it to come in there.
I can hardly hear you.
Oh,
I gotta turn up the volume. Is there a way to turn up the volume on Discord?
Yeah. Like, let me look at the UI. It's like if you right click on someone's name. Wait. Pretty sure there was. Like, you could modify the volume of an individual person. I don't remember exactly how. Like, I really dislike the Democrats and liberals in general. Like, for example, they always talk about things or write about things in a way that makes Trump and the fascists look, if not good, then it makes them look far less bad than what the reality is. For instance, there was an article the other day that its headline was. Let me look it up. Because I don't want to paraphrase or go off memory. I want to tell you exactly what this was. But let me see, because I was talking about it with my friend Stan. It had to do with ice, though.
Hello, Grace.
Ah, yes. It says ICE announces it will no longer report deaths of recently released detainees. This comes after the deaths of recently released detainees surged to a 2-decade high. Here's why that's basically a lie and propaganda. Because by saying that it's at a 2-decade high, it implies that there is a point more than 2 decades ago where people were dying in these concentration camps at a higher rate. That's untrue. The reason it's at a quote unquote 2-decade high is because ICE is only 2 decades old. Like, in reality, there's nothing to compare this to. We just have outright concentration camps in there. If you like look at what they look like inside, they literally look like Auschwitz and places like that. There's like just wooden planks and people are crammed in there like sardines. It's literally worse than Stalin's gulags. And the last few months, the government has been buying those concentration camps industrial grade incinerators.
Jesus Christ.
Are you fucking...
Yeah, I'm not even joking.
That's... Oh, God.
They're not even reporting the deaths anymore. No one knows how many people are dying. I don't think it's like there's thousands of people dying yet. I don't think it's like that, but it might get that way.
Where do you want me to naval invade?
These little islands, remember?
Okay. Well, I can
Because
get...
I am doing Fiji and Samoa. And those invasions will be ready to pop off in 24 days. Batavia. Lots of resources here. Let the rubber flow. Currently exporting over 500 rubber, but not only 16 of it is being purchased. But we're at least denying it to the enemy that matters. I'm now extracting a lot of aluminum. Banco? Where is that? Oh, there's a lot of aluminum there. Holy crap. I'm gonna develop that.
Hey guys, finally taking it.
Western Polynesia. The Germans should begin Barbarossa any day now. Any day.
We'd have a carrier. The Dr. Pick.
A carrier doctrine? No, I was waiting for you to pick your carrier doctrine.
Oh, please.
Since I'm unlikely to ever actually... Well, I mean, I probably will get at least one carrier eventually because I have a focus that gets me one. Yeah, you know, honestly, I was thinking of that as well because obviously I'm going to be making quite a few destroyers myself. Have a focus because historically, Australia did make a aircraft carrier during World War II. It's called the HMAS Sydney. There's a focus for that. Although, what's nice is it's different based on your carrier technology. Like if you have 0 carrier technology researched, it will just be like a converted cruiser, and it will be like halfway built already. But if you have a 1936 carrier tech, then it will be a 1936 carrier. But if you have the 1940 carrier tech, then it will be a 1940 carrier. So I'll probably wait until I get the 1940 carrier tech to do that.
Who's this guy? HQ? Well, that was quick.
I was just looking at the MP group, and the guy who's playing the United States is saying, "Yes, go the steel route. I will buy all your steel."
Do I want to continue negotiations with Carno, or am I not interested in cooperating with revolutionaries?
Tell him to screw hike off. Yeah, just tell him to screw off. We don't want them. We don't need them. If you wanted to puppet them, then that's what you say. Yes, let's cooperate, but because I'm going to be controlling it, we don't want to deal with them.
Grenzer, you're playing as Japan, right?
No, Australia.
Oh, okay. Cool. Just a little bit of Dutch East Indies. Dutch. Yeah. apparently one of the new trends for AI is to create like YouTube channels that are dedicated to like analyzing WWE or whatever, and they'll like completely spend minutes spewing off like rambling nonsense, just to like imitate human speech, and it's comical. It's just like, uh, they want to replace us all with this. And Germany's still taking Norway.
Oh yeah, they haven't even fully taken Norway. That's very bad. Even though we've already been dealing a hefty blow. Ah, I can finally get one more Marine division. Finally! Have 4. It's just that as Australia, you don't have a ton of manpower, so you can't get a very big army, so you can't get very many special forces. It's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles.
For whatever reason, it's taken me an eternity to just train one infantry division.
Might be your national spirits. You have some pretty terrible national spirits.
Oh yeah, like just the absolute corruption of the army. Oh, Norway, they're done. Speak of the devil.
It's funny, even though you're China, you adopted state Shintoism. I've actually been studying like academic texts on Shintoism and Japanese religions. It's difficult for us Westerners to really grasp because in China and East Asia in general, like, religion works in a different way. Here's what I mean by that. Here in Europe and the Middle East, we conceive of religion as something that is a totality. Like Christianity and Islam are complete, total worldviews and philosophies that like cover everything and there's no space outside of it. So like the idea of like being Christian or being Islamic and being something else at the same time is unthinkable to us. It's a contradiction. Because those religions just cover everything. Like they're total worldview. But in Asia, like the religions, most of these religions are partial. Like they don't, their views and beliefs only cover certain things and they don't form a unified
ASD will her joined
worldview on their own. Like, let me give you an example. For the Shinto religion itself, it has nothing to do with that. Like there is no such thing as a Shinto funeral. Like the Shinto priests just have nothing to do with that. There is no Shinto ritual for funerals or mourning because similar to many ancient European pagan religions, they see death as something that is inherently unclean. Like a lot of people are surprised to hear this, but you know, in ancient Greece, like priests of Hades, they had nothing to do with funerals at all. In fact, having anything to do with funerals or dead bodies was taboo, even for priests of Hades.
So, how would they even handle a funeral then? I think I've heard about
Good.
that.
That's good. because Buddhism, because there are Buddhist funerals and Buddhist rituals for death, so it's like some aspects of spiritual life are covered by Shinto and some are covered by Buddhism. So you can actually be an adherent of Shintoism and a Buddhist at the same time.
That's why there's Shinto.
But there's still some contradictions here, because in theory Buddhism is also like Christianity and Islam. It is theoretically capable of being a total religion that covers everything.
Mm-hmm.
But the Buddhists are basically the Buddhist clergy are like more open about some things, and so like if Shintoists believe in like such and such God, then the Buddhists will just say, well, that God is not really a real entity that exists by itself. It's actually just an avatar or an aspect of the Buddha or a given bodhisattva.
So there's a great deal of syncretism that exists.
Yeah, it was getting so severe that the Japanese government was worried that Buddhism was just going to take over Shintoism entirely and that Shintoism would just cease to exist. So in the late 1800s, the emperor made a decree that formally separated Shintoism and Buddhism, because Shintoism was actually kind of dying because it was being absorbed by Buddhism, so they had to keep it separate. The case in China is even more complex. Chinese religion is extremely complicated. I still don't quite fully understand it, but I've been like reading ancient and early modern Chinese literature and things like that to try to better understand it. It's a very complicated subject. I love reading about that stuff.
Dude, that's awesome.
Got some troop convoys.
Okay.
It's gonna take me forever to plan this invasion of the Gilbert Islands.
Thank you.
JAP player joined. RNG Golden.
Put that one on Secret Police. This one on, Military Governor. Oh, that one can go on Civilian Oversight. I micromanage like that occupation in different states, so like when compliance starts to get higher, like I move off of Military Governor eventually.
Yeah, I have a province that like is at like 39% resistance strength.
You should increase the severity of the. I would like move it to martial law or military governor.
Mm-hmm. It's on. Yeah, I'll increase it to martial law. Here we go.
That is the one that minimizes the resistance and minimizes the casualties you take from resistance. So it's basically kind of a dynamic system, because the more severe the occupation law, the slower you get compliance. But then as compliance raises, you can move it to a gentler occupation law so that compliance can continue to increase. It's kind of hard to directly quantify it, but I just kind of so like once it gets up to like 15% compliance, then I might switch it off from military or martial law, and I might switch it to secret police. And then when it gets up to like 25% compliance, I might switch it over to local police force or something. And then when it's like 35 or 40% compliance, I switch it over to civilian.
Nice. Are Germany and Britain at war? They're at war, surely.
Yeah, This is historical.
Yep.
This is the historical AI. So
So
yes, they've been
I
at
can,
war since August of 1939.
So I can see the Battle of Britain still happening.
Yep, you can see the little planes flying through the sky.
They're so cute. Teeny little planes.
I hate the Canadian infantry sprite. It looks like he's wearing pajamas, doesn't it, Matt? It looks like he's wearing baggy pajamas. It looks so silly. Like some of those really old infantry models look bad. But it said that in the patch notes for today that they added 3 new Commonwealth sprites, so I kind of want to see what those are.
Was that me, or did I see a helmet get thrown off the island?
That wasn't you. That means the division got destroyed completely. The British division got wiped out. That's what that little helmet popping icon means. It means the division was just wiped out completely. Because that island is just one province. If a division is defeated and it has nowhere to retreat to, it just gets destroyed. Oh, Matt, I've got a job for your fleet. Big enemy fleet in eastern Micronesia.
They're already over there. Should engage eventually.
Cool. Oh, my invasion is ready. Mine's in West Polynesia, so I don't think they're in any threat. There's no trouble there.
I think we are losing naval dominance in that.
Yeah,
Yep.
we know. We were just talking about that.
Okay.
And their whole fleet.
Because my boys are there.
Right now.
Oh, I got an extra research slot. Nice.
Do you know about the new general? No, of course you don't know about the new general system. Trying to think of a good way. Like, you can actually deploy generals on the map and they're represented by HQ divisions.
Ooh.
That was literally just added today at noon in the latest DLC that just came out.
Nice. So you could have a situation where your general gets captured or something like that, or killed.
Yep.
Dude.
It can't be killed because that would be too. It would be. They figured it would be unfun, but they can get captured, and then they can be freed if you use a spy operation to free them, or if you're able to attack. They're actually in a prison somewhere physically on the map, so if you're able to occupy that territory, you free them.
Nice.
So now, like for example, you could use paratroopers to drop behind enemy lines and surround and capture a general.
It's almost like a Total War, where like you have the same situation. Like, yeah, like generals are significant. But is it the kind of thing that if they are captured, does that result in like a morale, but like a debuff in morale, or do anything?
Not a debuff to morale. It just means all the benefits from having the general there are gone, because now the general skill bonuses that applied before today will only apply if the HQ is there on the map and near the army he's commanding.
But you actually have to deploy the HQ army someplace.
Yeah, you can have it automated. For example, like I'll take a screenshot and send it to you.
But that's the thing. Do you want to deploy it? Is there? Can you just?
Yeah, I mean, because otherwise the general is not giving this full skill bonuses. Like if you just have a general commanding an army, but he's not on the map as an HQ unit, like he provides 20% less benefits.
Where does the HQ deploy to?
One of the divisions in the army.
He's gonna take time to arrive.
I'm trying to track one of my errant generals. Like, yeah, like I have an army of 12 infantry divisions right here, but the general who's attached to them, his HQ unit is in New Zealand, and I'm gonna have to ship them over. Is the general or the HQ division will follow the army around if it has like a front line order, but my guys didn't have a front line order.
Still 27 out of 60 days. Oh! It's begun.
Oh, there it goes. Yep, it begins. We are preparing to potentially invade the Soviet Union if it looks like the Germans are doing badly. Which they probably will. They usually do badly. Like, the in-game balance of AI versus AI, like the allies are fairly heavily favored. It's been kind of a problem. Like, they try to tweak the balance and make it so it's like 50-50, but their tweaks always have unintended side effects, and it always favors one side over the other. Like a year or two ago, it used to be that the Axis would win like 80% of the time, and now it's like the other way around.
I know that historically they're gonna lose, but if we're trying to alter history by like having Japan.
Well, we've already quashed India, so we're doing much better than Japan did historically.
Damn. And you already quashed China as well, which is like mind blowing.
Oh yeah, China got crushed in 1937. Matt did it incredibly fast, faster than I've ever done it.
Damn.
Faster than I've ever seen anyone do it, actually.
I understand that.
Literally just obliterated them in like 2 months. It was glorious to behold. It takes me much longer normally. But it kind of depends on whether you can get a big encirclement early on. If you can't, if most of the units slip away, then it'll take a long time. But if you can get a big encirclement early on, then you can crush them. Yeah, so here's another screenshot I can take you. Like, there's a new tab where you can see captured commanders. And of course, I have 0 right now. Definitely curious. So, in today's expansion that just came out this afternoon, they added content for Australia, which did receive unique content, but it was December 2016. So their content was extremely old and pretty bad and outdated, but so it's got brand new stuff. Siam has content now, and the Dutch East Indies has content. We got Fiji. gonna try to take Samoa, and then I'll probably leave my Marines there and wait for us to be at war with the United States so I can just immediately take American Samoa. Bernard Freyberg, we meet again. I have a decent amount of manpower, actually. I've been getting a fair bit of it from the territories I've occupied.
Oh, we still don't have that naval domination, so I can't exactly move them there.
Yeah,
I
it
just-
takes time. Matt's guys are patrolling and looking for the enemy.
I had to doom stack all my destroyers back down there because their fleet's so big. Or not so big.
Need to take defense citizen military forces.
The general has a clipboard and just like checks stuff off.
Oh, you got him on the map? You see him?
I see him.
Starting to fade. I think I'll probably call it soon. Come a long way since overrunning China this morning, this afternoon.
Our faction manifesto is making pretty incredible progress. We've almost got it at 75%.
Maybe 23 more days until I can really begin the naval invasion of just one island.
We control like 25% of the world's resources. We need more.
Damn.
Well, we literally need more if we want to fulfill our manifesto and get the permanent 10% construction speed bonus.
It's never enough.
just finally hunted down and destroyed New Zealand's 2 light cruisers. That's their entire navy. They don't even start with those. They have a focus where they're able to yoink to the UK's light cruisers.
Let's see if my Sri Lanka invasion wins, and I'll probably call it after that.
All right, yeah. Let's see. What does New Zealand have left? Nothing. They have nothing. They literally have 0 divisions left.
2.6 million manpower in the field in my army.
I have 280,000, which is actually a decent amount for Australia. Your little cat. Should I say the not so little cat?
Just goes down a little bit. Been old.
Yeah, she's huge the last time I saw her. Far from the. She was very far from the fattest cat I've ever seen. My uncle, when I was a small child, had a ridiculously fat cat. His name was Felder. Like Feldur. I don't even know where he got that name from. It sounds like the name of like some barbarian in a Dungeons and Dragons game. Or an elf, who knows. But it sounds like something from Dungeons and Dragons. So my Marines will stay here and wait for the war against America to join Pago Pago. Where is it? Where is it? Was it in the Eastern Micronesia? No, looks like it was. Didn't even know they had anything out there yet.
Oh no, the one next to it. Yeah,
How big was it?
had an outstanding stuff.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, Greece still exists.
Excellent.
Huh.
Island is next. There's still so many effing islands.
Yep, in the Indian Ocean, like we've still got like that, and then we need to start like grabbing these islands. Can't forget the little ones, and then we'll have them completely kicked out of the Indian Ocean. Well, not exactly. We got to take this one too, Socotra.
You gotta take all these stuff.
Yeah, I did highlight at least 2 of those. Those should probably be a bigger priority than those other ones. Straits of Malacca. Pilbara is just trucking on and on and on.
What is?
Pilbara, it's a mine. It's like there's a focus option for the economy in Australia that allows you to spend a lot of resources opening up one of the biggest iron mines in the world, and you can theoretically keep expanding it infinitely. And there used to be 0 steel there. There's now 131. That is a lot. Wait, where's the battle? Okay, I see the battle. Nope, you're crushing it. I thought there was going to be a bigger enemy fleet there.
Yeah, I thought so too.
That was a disappointing end. That was an anti-climax. I think their big fleet is out there somewhere, though. That was probably just the patrol.
I have like quadruple the dominance that I have.
Yeah, I think that was just a
It's
patrol
gotta
fleet
be
you
there.
destroyed. I don't even think that was their main. I don't even think that was a strike
I'll
force.
get it eventually.
This guy's got a lot of medals I can give him, but I am dry on political power.
If you want some doubles.
So for the next one, take. I'm trying to think of what goal, because we can do both of them eventually. Which one would give us more stuff? Develop Indonesian riches or develop?
I can't do
Lane.
I don't have excavation 1 and 2.
Oh. And I can't pick it because the rules only allow the faction leader to. I can change that. Yeah, now I should be able to do it. Control Indonesian riches. Where was the thing? Develop. Oh, it was down here. So develop Indonesian riches. There. We did control Indonesian riches, so. Control Wake Island. Well, I thought we already had control Manila. Expand the submarine fleet. Let's do that. So what states do I need to... Kalimantan Barat. Oof. So let me queue up max infrastructure there. Where else do I need it? West Java. Okay, it's queued up at West Java. Where else? West Nusa. West Nusa Tagara. Okay, queued up there. Where else do I need it? South Sumatra. I know where that is.
I'd say Sri Lanka. I'm gonna call it whenever you're good.
I'll be ready in just a second here. I'm just queuing up Sulawesi. Isn't that? Yeah, that's right there. I was just wanted to queue up all the infrastructure I needed to build to fulfill that goal. All right, we'll save it. This is indeed a good place to save and end for the night.
Awesome. That's been fun.
Yeah, it has. We haven't really gotten to experience, or I haven't gotten to experiment much with the actual general stuff because I haven't really been involved in like conventional ground warfare that much.
I dropped 1 HQ, but I didn't see the little lines coming off of it to like show me its effectiveness. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think they changed the GUI for that so it didn't look like as horrendous. Like it looked
I could see it coming
intimidating.
off my opponent's HQs, but not my own, so I didn't really know. But I only tried it once at the start of that war with China, and I haven't used it since.
Yeah, that also might be related to the abilities. Some of them new abilities are toggleable, like you can just permanently turn them on, but most of them you wouldn't want to. Like there's one called Exploit Breakthroughs that gives you like plus 15% breakthrough, but it makes your guys take 40% more strength damage. That is not worth it to me. It is not worth it. But I guess
I'm in
it's better
Rivals
for it to
tomorrow
be.
night, but if you want to play during the afternoon, I should be around.
We shall see. I think I'll be around.
Hey,
Is
have
it
a good
safe
one.
to quit?
Yep, I've saved the game. Are you gonna chill out with? Oh, he's gone. I was gonna ask him if he was gonna chill out with his fat cat.
Him?
Yeah, Matt.
Uh,
He's got a fat cat, a very fat cat, and that cat is interrupting constantly. She like walks in the room and demands attention.
damn. Well, my neighbors. They have like cats are the same way. They're just like they have my housemates. They have 3 cats. So
That's a lot of cats.
yes, but it is what it is,
Yep.
dude.
When I was a kid, we had 5 cats at one point.
Dude, damn.
That is a lot of cats.
There's quite a bit. I think it depends on how much of a house you have. Like if it's just
It was
like
a large house, pretty large house. It was a 3-story house, so
yeah, we got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a kitchen, we have a living room, we have a bathroom, and we have 3 rooms independent of that, all on one floor, and we have 3 cats. So
it's a lot of space for the cats. I'm sure it's big enough for them.
okay, but yeah. Oh, I think it's raining outside. Dude, that's nice. Dude, I should probably go ahead and end the stream here and stop the recording. So yeah.
Yeah, been fun.
Anyways, if you have been watching, thank you so much, and have a good one.